everyone! Welcome back to my vlog. This is Efren, and today I am going to discuss to you about biomes, ecosystem, and species. Yes, species. So guys, are you ready? And now we will talk about biomes and ecosystems. First, what is biome? When we say biome, it is a group of land ecosystems with similar climates and organisms, as what you have seen in the picture. So there are 6 major land biomes and 2 major water ecosystems. In land, there are rainforests, deserts, grasslands, deciduous forest, boreal forest, and tundra. So in water, there are freshwater and the marine ecosystems. Moreover, an area's biome is determined mostly by its climate or its temperature and precipitation. So we will now proceed to rainforest. So there are 2 main types of rainforest, the temperate rainforest and the tropical rainforest. First, I am going to discuss the temperate rainforest. So when we say temperate rainforest, it is having a moderate temperatures. So northwestern coast of US is a temperate rainforest, for it receives more than 300 centimeters of rain per year. Huge trees such as cedars, redwoods, and Douglas firs. So, in the other hand, tropical rainforest is found regions close to the equator. It is warm and humid all year long and lots of precipitation, and it diverse plants growth. Trees in the rainforest form several layers. The canopy and the understory. First is the canopy. It is a leafy roof formed by the tallest trees, and the second is understory, a second layer of the shorter trees and banks. This picture shows an example of understory. It is a plants grow well in the shadow formed by the canopy. But the forest floor is nearly dark and only a few plants live there. And now let's move on. Let's proceed to deserts. Deserts, it is an area that receives less than 25 centimeters of rain per year. Some deserts receive no precipitation at all during 1 year. Deserts often undergo large shifts in the temperature during the course of the day. So the first picture shows the Namib Desert in Africa cools rapidly after the sun goes down. The second picture is the Gobi Desert in Central Asia is cooler and even experiences freezing temperature in the winter. So these are the organisms that live in the desert must be adapted to the lack of rain and extreme temperature. So these are the picture of saguaro cactus and the Gila monster. Now let's proceed to grasslands. Grasslands is an area that is populated mostly by grasses and other non-woody plants. Receive 25 to 75 centimeters of rain per year. Fires and droughts are common, especially with summer. So savanna is a grassland that is located closer to the equator than grasses. Savanna can receive as much as 120 centimeters of rain per year. In addition to grass, scattered shrubs and small trees can grow in the savanna. So grasslands are home to many of the largest animals on earth, such as zebra, elephant, and etc. Grazing by these large herbivores helps to maintain these grasslands. And now let's proceed to deciduous forest. It is the shed their leaves and grow new ones each year, such as oaks and maples receive enough rain to support the growth of trees and other plants at least 50 centimeters per year. Now boreal forest mostly contains coniferous trees that produce their seeds in cones that have leaves shaped like needles. Very cold winters, warm and rainy summers. Now let's proceed to tundra. Tundra is extremely cold and dry biome. Usually receives no more precipitation than a desert biome. Most soil is frozen all year long. During the summer, the top layer of the soil throws, but the rest remains frozen. This picture shows the example of tundra. Furthermore, because rainwater cannot soak into the permafrost, there are many shallow ponds and marshy areas of the tundra during the summer. So there are plants and animals in the tundra, such as wolf, polar bear, reindeer, Arctic fox, Arctic hare. These are the animals that found in tundra. Now let's proceed to freshwater ecosystem. Freshwater ecosystems include streams, rivers, ponds, and lakes. We will talk about rivers and streams. So animals adapt to the stream river's current. Few plants or algae can grow because of the strong currents in the rivers or stream. Animals rely on seeds and leaves to fall in the water as food. So these are the animals that found in the river or stream. Now let's proceed to ponds and lakes. So bodies of standing or still fresh water. Lakes are larger and deeper than ponds. But ponds is shallow enough for sunlight to hit bottom. Lakes too deep for plants to grow on the bottom. So these are the organisms that can be found in pond or lake. Now let's proceed to marine ecosystems. So marine ecosystem include estuaries, intertidal zones, neritic zones, and the open ocean. First is the estuary. Estuary is where fresh water of a river meets salt water of the ocean, especially the river. The second is intertidal zone, the area between the highest high tide line and the lowest low tide line. So organisms here must be able to survive the pounding waves with water level changes and temperature changes. Example, barnacles, starfish, snails, and clams. So neritic zone, this area below the low tide line which extends over the continental shelf. Sunlight passes through these zones so photosynthesis can occur and plants can grow. Many living things and coral reefs may form in water is warm. Then last is the open ocean. It is separated into two zones, the surface zone and the deep zone. Surface zone is a few hundred meters deep of the ocean where light penetrates. Then the deep zone is below the surface zone. And now we will proceed to species. So what is a species? Defining what exactly species means can be a little bit tricky because the reality is we also know where the species is and what is it. If we look at a group of animals, we know that a zebra and a monkey are not the same species. We know that a monkey and a woodpecker are not also the same species. But then, it's so obvious how exactly do we define it. One way of thinking is that if they can produce offspring, they must be the same species. A zebra and a monkey, for example, could not produce offspring. But this definition doesn't really always hold true. So a zebra and a horse, for example, can produce offspring. They can produce something called as zebroid. However, the zebroid itself cannot produce offspring. If we were to meet two of these, they would not be able to produce offspring. Therefore, we can simply define species as a group of organisms that can reproduce to produce fertile offspring. And by that, we mean offspring that can themselves produce more offspring.